So yeah, I'm impressed that they've signed him. I think he will be a good player for them, and he doesn't always have to. You know, if you're saying is it one or the other, he doesn't always have to play up front. He can play in the number 10 role. He can play from a slightly wider position if they want to change their system slightly. So I think it's a good signing, and I think his style of play will suit Chelsea more than at the moment I see Delap.
Mario, how excited are you for this game? Are you going to be full Chelsea strip, edge of your seat on the couch watching this semi-final?
Oh, I got my shirt out already, but
yes.
I will have to knock the dust off, man. I have to knock the dust off then. I cannot with them on. No, I'm excited, of course. They got so far, and I think how they build the setup, you understand what they can achieve if they win the final. What is it, 153 million they're winning. So financially, they're looking very good, and they spend the money, and I think that's one of the goals. But if you look at the striker, Pedro, like what you guys already talked about, his goal was very simple. I come to Chelsea, I want to be a player that is respected and being chosen for my national team. Now he's going to play a game. If he starts tomorrow, he plays against Silva. He said it himself. He's one of the legendary players. And he said, like, I like him, but I want to perform. And the way he looked out of his eyes and the way he was talking to the journalists, this talks about a player that likes competition and still feels he will be the better one of both of them, like Jackson. And, like whoever comes his way, I feel like he is comfortable in entering into that battle. And that's why I like that in football, because you cannot be scared of battles. You have to go at them.
What's going to happen to Nico Jackson? They want rid, surely.
They need to get rid of some players because they've got so many players that aren't going to play, and they need to, I won't say balance the books, but this fine that UEFA hit them with last week, which they kind of wiped out by winning on Friday. But Jackson isn't going to play. And I think, Mario's right that Joao Pedro does seem to be the more finished article. Delap, they've still got a lot to learn, I think, and having him around means it's easy for Delap to bed in. But Delap turned down and moved to Manchester United because he wanted to play at Chelsea. Well, he might not play at Chelsea, so he'll be the second choice, I think, behind Joao Pedro. Jackson, he had a good season last year. He scored a lot of goals. He scored more goals than you think his ability would actually deliver. He always finds a way, makes things happen. But I think he would be a player that would let go because they have to bring some money in from somewhere, and they've got a lot of players.
Yep.
Raheem Sterling, Ben Chilwell, all these players that people forget about, they have to get rid of as well. So it could be a busy summer on the way out at Chelsea as well as the way in.
Alexis, quite the opposite to Mark. I'll tell you who's brought some life very much to this tournament is, of course, the Brazilian teams. Fluminense, of course, the last man standing. You can knock this tournament, and of course we have on this show, but the Brazilian showing has been fantastic, hasn't it?
You have knocked this tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. The Brazilians definitely have been the other highlights, as well as the Argentinian fans, and we expect them to absolutely pile into the stadium tomorrow. Unfortunately, I won't be there because I will be in studio getting to hang out with the boys. But look, we even got to hear a little bit from the Fluminense camp, and they are very confident and have no fear going up against Chelsea. They say they play a style of football that I'm sure Ale can translate for you, but it's called le toca y me voy. Like, I touch it and then I go. They're not going to pretty much let it easy for Chelsea. They're going to be quickly passing that ball, and they said that they feel like their pace, they can also get and exploit Chelsea as well and probably get them on the counter-attack. They have no problem being compact in the back and soaking up pressure. They said they relish that challenge. They really are up for this, and they have a certain Thiago Silva who knows Chelsea very, very well. Of course, he respects his former club, but I'm pretty sure he'll be riling the Fluminense squad up in that dressing room to go after the European Chelsea club.
Could have got the translation from me, but she went for you, Anne.
And she didn't even let me translate it. She said it and then translated herself.
Just in case you got it wrong.
Very selfish. Look, Fluminense, they're literally, and I mean literally, playing with house money already.
Yeah.
They're not expected to be at this point of the competition. And every time you advance, and we have been reminded of it every time that you watch a game, this game is worth this many millions. Okay, well, and for Fluminense, all those millions count for something. All those millions are important. All those millions changed the trajectory of the club locally in Brazil. And so here they are, again, playing with house money, a dangerous team because they know exactly who they are and what they are and how they go about winning games. I don't think you can say that about Chelsea all the time. Consistency with Chelsea is a problem. I don't think consistency is a problem with Fluminense. Now, talent level, potential, higher ceiling, I think you go Chelsea. But Fluminense, They're going to be organized. They'll absorb pressure. If Chelsea lose the ball in a bad area, they have proven in this tournament, Fluminense has, that they have enough in the attack to expose frailties for Chelsea defensively. Having said that, I'm picking Chelsea.
Not meaning to be negative about this tournament, but just slightly for a moment.
Well, kind of.
Why is this game at 3 in the afternoon in July at the MetLife?
To suit the European TV audience.
Who aren't watching?
Well, no, they're not watching, to be honest, but that is where the money is supposedly for the World Cup next year. The broadcast rights, that's where the big football population is apparently, and we know it's not, but that's where it's led by money, it's led by influence. Now, you're right, 3 o'clock in the afternoon in New Jersey, who's going to be there? Fluminense will help because they've got a big following in the city, but Chelsea. The same on Wednesday as well, and the same for the final. It's just the wrong time, I think, for a game that needs to be... let's not talk about the heat as well, but obviously playing in the evening will help the occasion as well. So it does feel this competition that's been thrown together at the last minute, and it's been...
Do you think they'll learn their lesson? For example, next year the World Cup semi-finals will not be at this time.
Well, they will be, because let's say it's France versus Germany.
Well, get up.
Yeah,
get up and stay up.
The European TV companies are not going to want that to be at 2 o'clock in the morning. So it is basically done to suit television companies. We are one ourselves. That's how it works. But unfortunately for the people who are watching the games in this country, it's at difficult times. I wouldn't want to be sat in the MetLife with the sun beating down at 3 o'clock in the afternoon with no cover. But that's what's happened to a lot of fans in this tournament.